I'm Zama Zweni. I'm a high performance center manager at Pietermaritzburg College. Um, I'm in charge of the whole high performance program there, and I'm an exercise scientist by profession. Ideally, you want your body parts or your whole body to be very efficient in what you're trying to achieve. So if it's sprinting, so strength and conditioning is what you would do to get your body to be at the most efficient for you to be the best sprinter possible. Same thing as basketball, same thing as any other sport. Before, it was a taboo having strength and conditioning in spaces such as primary schools, high schools, and even varsity levels. Some varsity levels didn't have any, and there wasn't really much knowledge about it or value in it. So I see it developing now because we have schools that are actually building gyms for the squads in those spaces. So this is progress. This means that the country actually sees value. And what I was telling one of the kids is that if you look at any elite athletes, they all have strength and conditioning coaches. If you look, especially because we're in a basketball clinic now, if you look at basketball players, your LeBron James, Curry, all of that, they all have strength and conditioning coaches, which means that this is something that actually works. If the best of the best has it, why can't we start it at this level? And I'm seeing that now, as years are developing and as years go by, the intake of schools taking in SNCs is a bit higher, and as well as the schools are now incorporating strength and conditioning part of their program. Okay, so I'll use myself as an example. I didn't know nothing about strength and conditioning when I was in high school because it wasn't really a concept, it was nothing about it. How I started seeing value in it, I was always interested in sports. I did sports science. So I think educating them, telling them, because if they understand something and how it works, then they're going to want to try and find different ways to implement it. If you have a kid here that wants to play for a South African national side, if they understand how to improve themselves, because it's the lack of knowledge. If you don't know how to get yourself to that level, of which SNC is part of it, then you won't really care much. So I think number one, to increase the value of it in sports spaces is to increase the knowledge, educate the kids as to, okay, you're doing this, how does this translate to the sport? Okay, you wanna be fitter, be stronger, be faster. What do I need to do to get you there? So once they have that education, then they have that interest. Now you've already picked the interest, like, oh, okay. And then now you start looking at different modes to become even better. It is now starting to pick up a lot. There is a demand for it. So getting into these courses such as ETA offers some courses that can help you with strength and conditioning. I personally did sports science. There's a lot of genres within sports strength and conditioning that you can look at so that you knowledge yourself, so that when you are also out there on the field and you are coaching, you also in a way living through them. You're now experiencing what you also didn't experience. So I definitely think it is something to look into, especially if you have the love for sports. It just feels like you're doing a hobby every day when you wake up and you take the route of being a strength and conditioning coach. It just feels like you're doing something that you love. It feels like you're doing a hobby because it's something that you enjoyed very when you were growing up or when you were playing or whatever. So I'd say to that kid, go for it. You will love it. If you love the sports and you love the game and you love giving back, teaching someone else to get to that level that you never got to, or to get to the level that you were at if you got injured and you couldn't play anymore, teaching someone, it fulfills you as well. So go for it is what I'd say. This I really love seeing, and especially the outcome, seeing the outcome that there's so many kids, because what better to do with your time on a weekend or when you don't have anything to do than to come and play sports? That's like an amazing use of your time. And I feel like USD I like the initiative that it actually took to have something like this, because sports is not just improving physically. These are bonds that they're forming. These are people that are become the brothers, maybe business partners in the future, whatever it may be. But it starts here on the courts. You mentioned yourself, Wuti, you met Ubongani on the court, and he's also coached you. So he's also had an amazing impact. But where did you guys meet? On the court? So USD providing platforms where connections like this can be made is is so valuable. It's timeless. I mean, I love this personally, and I just want it to continue in that direction, because you're getting these kids out of drugs, you're getting these kids out of bad influence, you're getting these kids out of sitting in TV. Even if you don't do drugs, alcohol, sitting in TV, watching whatever, you're not developing in any way. And when you look at them, it's kids from 3 years old, 4 years old are here, right up to 17, 18. You could find them here. So this is like a nice melting pot of different kids, and I want to see more of this, to be honest. Yes.